Welcome to another What If Deku live stream. Today I am going to be doing at least 2 or 3 what ifs. And the reason I say maybe just 2 is because I think I'm going to do another story on this channel that I think needs another part. And that's where I left off with the My Guard versus Vanny, and we know how that went. And they'll be moving on to Poppy Playtime, so they'll be going up against Huggy Wuggy, and I may just split off that one into multiple parts, but they're just going after insectary monsters or something like that, or something like that. You'll know when I get to it. Now, a lot of you enjoy my series on this channel, which I love, and I'm gonna get to this one. This is also the thumbnail of the next part of What If Deku Was King Sombra I will be doing. Now, this video, or this live stream, I plan to continue this and Mangle next part. And it took me a while to remember the Island villain, believe it or not, Wolf Ram. I didn't realize when naming one of my characters with this series, I was naming a My Hero villain. So that won't complicate things. I don't plan him to add him into the storyline of this What If Deku Was King Sombra. Now, basically, King Sombra is possessing Deku in this series, if y'all don't know. And it's mostly King Sombra in control, but Deku is watching from kind of like trapped in his mind. You could say. Kind of like a possession. Now, there are... And if you notice the thumbnail, I'm going to be revealing Red Wing, if y'all watched the previous part, which was how the generals made it to the My Hero era. I know I didn't go in detail like where they spawned and all that, but like we know Sleep and Ram, which I'm just going to call them that, were brought back and awakened by King Sombra, as long as a few guards. Now, I'm introducing Red Wing into this part of this series. This next part of this series I'll be doing on this live stream, Red Wing will be joining. And Devastation will be later as well. Coming along, tagging along, hopping on in the story. Again, I gotta think where he'd be a good fit and adding into the story. So, I gotta think with some... I gotta do some more thinking. After all, I've been doing the Barrel War, the Octoling Experiment story, also preparing an audio story for my 500 subscriber special series, which is taking longer than I would have ever thought to actually make an... Who knew making a whole scripted story would take so long, is when you're not even close to finishing the entire series. You've only finished one episode of the audio. Yeah, it takes a while. But no named subscribers. I will not have my name in the story. These are all made-up named characters. You'll probably hear people from which the series it'll be released on, blah blah blah. You'll understand when the series comes out, hopefully. If not, I apologize, and you can comment down below, and I'll explain. Also, I'm trying to a new perspective within my stories in that audio, so if you get a bit confused, I can understand. I'm trying something new, and it may throw a few people off, and I will make probably a video explaining and answering some of your questions about the series. Because I am planning to do something with that series that may throw a lot of people for a small loop. But hopefully it doesn't. And if there's any questions or anything about what I plan to do, go ahead and ask before I move on to actually doing this part. Y'all can ask me, like, for instance, why did you decide to do King Sombra and have, like, generals and all that? I'm just answering this myself, is because I wanted to, I felt like King Sombra needed subjects to rule. Like, sure, he was feared in the MLP universe, but at least a few people under him had to have respected him during when he took over the Crystal Empire. Now, I could not get, I don't even, I apologize if y'all got a little bit mad at me, because I could not remember the name of the Alicorn he had killed. I believe his name was also Cadence, and Cadence was a reincarnation of it. If not, I apologize. When it comes to finding stuff for that particular area, I could not have any luck. I looked for the name. I couldn't find one. I apologize. So if you're asking, hey, this Alicorn's not named Alicorn, I just called it an Alicorn because I didn't know the name. Which I do apologize if that somehow got on your nerves, just calling this named character an Alicorn. I didn't know the Alicorn's name. I may do a remake of that one part to where I find the name and I fix my mistake. So I doubt it, but if people comment down below if you want me to fix that, I will try my best. Without further ado, I'll take a quick drink of a quick sip of water before I get started with this next part of What If Deku was King Sombra. Without further ado, let's get into this. What if Deku was King Sombra? Part 5. Last where we left off, we went in and saw the past. How all his generals, his main figures, and we've seen 2 of them appear into the today's era. Now, in this part, you'll be able to see Redwing will be joining King Sombra, or at least reuniting with some of his fellow allies. We start this off in the strategy war room with Ram, who is asleep on his desk as he has memories of thousands of years ago with the battle with Celestia and Luna, how his tactics were foiled by their strength. He felt like he should have done more to delay them. He could have come up with a better strategy, a better countermeasure. But there was nothing he could do, as they were just too strong and he hadn't calculated that. He thought his forces would be enough, and he was expecting reinforcements, which got cut off because of the reinforcements being attacked by the Crystal Empire's forces. As he starts waking up, my head. As someone walks in, you really shouldn't be falling asleep on that desk, you know. State your name. It's me. Calm down. Oh, sleep. What are you doing here? I came to check on you before I go off. Go off? Yes, I plan to have a rematch with Red Vamp. Didn't you defeat him? Yes. I defeated him quite swiftly, but he is asking and been wanting to fight me as a rematch again. He's just gonna lose. He might, but I figured I'd give him a rematch. After all, I can train him to become one of King Sombra's faithful warriors. That could be true. With his quirk, he's more ferocious, and it'll be hard for the heroes to defeat him. Precisely. That's why I'm moving some men to watch. Some of his men and my men will watch the fight. Ah, so you do plan to duel him? Yes, and it'll be under my terms, of course. Your terms? Yes, we are not allowed to kill each other. That is all. I see. So you're allowing outside weapons. Of course. And it'll be taking place in the fighting arena that has been open for a little while. It's closed for today, of course. Yes, we have been getting quite a bit of funds from the arena. Yes, it's been helpful. And what about the LOV? Have you found anything? They're planning something, but we cannot know what that thing is for the time being. We think they may go after the training camp the UA has scheduled. How did you discover that information? Well, through Red Vamp. He had figured it out. After all, he is part of the League now, technically. Fair point. Now I must be off. I need to go inform King Sombra about this news. Of course. As sleep leaves. Ever since we've been woken up, where is Devastation and where is Red Wing? I have not been able to contact them. And how is it that they have not already recovered? Could they have possibly have already been awakened before us? Oh, this is bad. They might have woken up earlier. This is really bad. If they woke up earlier, this could be something really bad. What if they grew old? And they're no longer used to King Sombra. Calm down, calm down. I doubt that. Maybe the spell has had a stronger effect than I thought? Or maybe they're awake and we just need to find a way to contact them. So many outcomes and not enough solutions or answers. Well, I guess I'll have to search for... As then a paper that one of the guards brought to his desk about the news. As he looks at it. No, that can't be. As we go to King Sombra and sleep. Why have you come, sleep? I came to inform that Red Vamp has declared a rematch. I see, as expected of him. What does he want? He just wants to fight me again, to prove his strength. I see. Is that all? Yes. Well, I suppose it's all right. After all, if he proves to be a very powerful ally in the future, it means the stronger will grow. Of course, King Sombra. Prepare. Have a few guards would go with you. But sir, you'll be low on troops, as we don't have many that you've brought back from slumber. I know, but the heroes won't find this place. After all, I've casted an illusion spell. They won't be able to find it unless they have help. Probably a very strong quark. After all, some people in this era prove to be a problem. But we'll take care of that shortly. Of course, King Sombra. You are dismissed. As sleep leaves. As we go to the sports festival, which is happening around this time. As we see Red Wing in the stands. These kids, they're so out of ordinary. Their training is absolutely terrible. Hand-to-hand combat, they rely too much on their quarks. If my aerial squad was around, they would easily be able to dispatch these weaklings. Bakugo kid. Too arrogant. Say a few words, a sneak attack. While you're angering him, he would be out good. The only one I'm truly worried about in this era would be that Shoto Todoroki. He's quick on his mind. He won't fall for something like that. He's quite smart, too. And the rest have flaws. Too big of flaws. Although that Tokiyami guy is a lot smarter than I thought. He's been using everything to his advantage. I guess he would make for a good asset amongst my aerial force. Right, I don't know if King Sombra is awake yet. Is he saying all this in his mind to not get caught? Well, anyway, I've lost interest, as all they're doing is pretty much playing around. They are not taking this serious. And the ones that are taking it serious, good on them, I suppose. But there's no reason for me being here. As he walks down the stairs, as he's about to leave, he runs into Eraserhead. Red Wing, it's been a while. Ah, Eraserhead. Nice to see you too. It's good to see the number 10 hero, Red Wing. Well, it's nice to be a part of this hero thing. After all, as we go in his mind, only because I'm in search to see if King Sombra and the rest have awoken. But I suppose this could work out for now. Those kids of yours need more training. Yes, I'm very aware. But I can't go too hard on them, they are just kids. I suppose you're right. But if you don't train them well, they could easily die in a villain attack. I don't think we have to worry about that, as any powerful villains can be taken out by our top 10 heroes. Including you, number 10. Yes, after all, I proved my strength to get into the top 10 a while back. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have somewhere to be. As he walks by Eraserhead. As we go into another hallway. As we see, it's just him. I wouldn't be here. The only reason I'm here is because I'm looking for King Sombra. All old places and all that have been forgotten. There's no telling where the locations are. I've checked every museum, searched for every artifact. Nothing. Why? Why would be searching for so long could be such a problem? I can't even find a trace of King Sombra anywhere. Nevertheless, that, or any of my colleagues. Maybe they're still asleep, sealed away. Perhaps that's the reason why I cannot contact them. Whatever it is, I woke up about 5 years ago. So we get a flashback, as we see him in a crater. It was 5 years ago. It was a fight between the number 1 hero and some villain. I'd awoken somehow, and I was roaming the destroyed city. Unfortunately, my wounds of that day still haunted me. And since I went to sleep before I was fully recovered, I'd stumbled around thinking I was injured. I collapsed quickly, and a medical team found me. I was lucky. They did notice I was wearing some strange armor, thinking I was a hero. I luckily managed to play it off, as they thought I was just some random hero, so all medical expenses were easily paid for. Then, I made a deal with a few heroes, took a hero test, and managed to pass with flying colors. Although playing like this is simply irritating. 5 years I've been playing the hero, when all I've been doing is waiting for King Sombra. Is then he remembers something. Wait a minute. As we go back to him in the hall, as he goes back to Aizawa, do you have any information on certain events? Certain events? Yes. I'm curious on what's happening. Well, we've been hearing rumors of an underground fighting arena for villains. Although it's been hard to locate, we haven't managed to find any luck. No luck. None, I'm afraid. Alright, I was just wondering. As we go back to him in the hall. A fighting underground arena. I know an underground arena. And if they're using that to hide, smart on them. As he smiles, as we go to the underground arena, where Sleep and Red Vamp are facing each other. Oh, have you finally come to settle our little duel? Your rematch, yes, I have come. Good, as he tosses his hat up in the air. Then let the audience view us. As we see that there are guards of Red Vamp and Sleep's guards watching within the stands. Let them observe this glorious match. I see nothing wrong with it. Good. As he pulls out his sword and rushes for an attack at Sleep, Sleep quickly uses magic to gather his sword and block the blow. While they're parrying the attacks, Vamp uses his hand trying to strike at Sleep in the face. As he uses magic and counters it and throws his hand, sending him towards the wall, as he quickly then breaks his hand and goes lunging with a frontal strike with his sword, which causes the magic in the hilt of the sword to haywire and fly out because he hit the hilt of the sword with his sword, sending it flying. As we see his arm regenerates itself, fixing itself. As he goes in for an attack, Sleep makes as a barrier, but instead of circling himself, it circles Red Vamp. Oh, you didn't use this in the last fight. Are you possibly taking this more seriously? Possibly. As he lifts him up, as he hurtles him around, as Red Vamp gathers blood around the sword, as then he does a circular slash around himself, cutting the barrier in half. Ah, that was a strong barrier, but I managed to break it. Quite impressive. I used quite a bit of magic in that barrier. I could tell, but it's not going to be enough to defeat me. As he goes and sends some blood bullets at him, Sleep counters with making individual little shields to block the bullets instead of going all around himself, and then sends some magic projectiles at Vamp. He dodges most of them, but one pierces his shoulder going straight through. As he charges forward, and is preparing to go for another strike, as then someone just applauds as both of them stop their attack and look over at the stand. Well, 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 if it isn't my old colleague, Sleep. And who might this be? As Red Vamp looks up at him, who is he? Red Wing, I didn't know you were here. In fact, I didn't even know you were awake. I didn't know you were awake either, my friend. After all, I thought I was the only one awake in this era. As Red Vamp looks at him, wait, you're the number 10 hero, Red Wing. As he prepares to strike, as Sleep stops him with a sword to Red Vamp's neck. That's enough. He's with me. As Red Vamp lowers his guard, as he thinks, wait, is Red Wing connected with Sleep and his master? Then they've already infiltrated the Hero Society? As he smiles, I knew I'd joined the right side. How long have you been awake? 5 years, give or take. Sleep says 5 years? Yes, I thought I was gonna have to wait much longer. How is the king? I assume he's awake. Yes, King Sombra has returned. That's good news. Ram is also with us. What about Devastation? No news on Devastation. He's either asleep or he's somewhere else at the moment. He may not even be in Japan. That's where we are. After all, I woke up in a fight probably halfway across Japan. In an unlocated area, of course. I had no idea where I was at the time, but apparently I was at the coast of Japan. Really? Yeah, waking up there was a surprise to me. We woke up at the ruins of the old castle. They're still around after 4,000 years? Yes, surprisingly, yes. Huh. I guess I didn't give the builders of the place too much credit. A note, I'm not judging our builders ever again. Noted. You should come back. And did you say you were the number 10 hero? Yes, I have been in the heroes' ranks for the past few years. And when I heard about this place, I was intrigued. And if this was a regular underground fighting arena, I might have stopped it. But knowing you're here, I won't tell anyone about this place. Well, that's good. I would like to meet King Sombra, though. It's been a while since me and King Sombra had a chat. Have any Pegasus woke up? A few, but not many. They might have been rusty without your assistance. Yeah, I can whip them back into shape in no time. After all, the only threat into the skies in this era is Hawks. What, the number 4 hero? Yes, he's a threat. At least to me. I've done a few spars with him. His speed is a threat. His wings, able to split his feathers and control them, is more of a threat than I thought he would be. Of course, this is after observing him. He's more of a threat than I would ever thought he would be to me, since observing. Is he really that much? Depending. If I take him on with my guard down, he might win. But if I go with him and I take him on straight away with full force, I can easily take him out. Well, that's good to know. Well, I am Red Vamp. I've been working with Sleep here. Red Vamp. You're part of that new gang that's been going around we've been hearing so much about. Yes. So I'm guessing this is the face of your organization until King Sombra reveals his true plan. Yes. And Ram has something to do with it, doesn't he? As well as you know, yes, he does. Red Vamp speaks up. Ram? Yes, he's another person. We're 3 generals to our lord. There's 4 of us, though. 4? Yes, we have no clue where Devastation is, but he should reunite with us shortly, hopefully. Devastation. Ah, I know that name. As both of them look over at Red Vamp. You do? You may not know this, but Devastation is a well-known villain over in America. As both of them look surprised. Devastation is in America? Well, that explains why I couldn't find him. I've only been studying within Japan. I haven't been looking elsewhere. But how did he wake up in America? As Vamp just shrugs his shoulders. How long has he been a villain over there? 3 years, I think. That's when he was first sighted. 3 years. We'll have to go talk to him. Of course, but now's not the time. Anyway, I did interrupt your match, didn't I? As Vamp speaks up, you did. Why don't me and you have a go then? Very well. Step aside, Sleep. I'll take it from here. I've just quickly paused because I didn't. As I'm going to do one thing real quick because I didn't build this scene, not realizing I didn't need to. Is I'm just going to put Sleep up here to observe as Red Vamp is going to verse Red Wing. And if I get their names mixed up in this fight, I am going to be so mad at myself. Like, I know there's been plenty of characters. I've been giving random characters names, and it's been going well so far. So, anyway, let's do this real quick. And the battle has turned. The tables have turned. It's now Red Vamp versus Red Wing, the number 10 hero, and also a loyal subordinate and general to King Sombra. Okay, you're going to fight him in my stead, then? Yes, I would like to test Red Vamp's skills. It would be an honor to fight with one of the top 10 heroes. As he prepares his blade, as in a blink of an eye, Red Wing has already decapitated one of his arms. As Red Wing apparently had gone so fast that Red Vamp hadn't noticed. But as we go to Red Vamp, who has his eyes shunned under his blindfold, as we see that he had actually dodged the attack unknowingly, as he's surprised, as he noticed, my instincts told me to dodge. That might have been my head if I hadn't dodged that attack. As he looks over, as he sees Red Wing with the sword. He's much faster than Sleep is. No wonder he's one of whoever his master is, generals. And I believe an eye took my arm. Well, let's test him, as he makes several blood spears and tosses them at Red Wing as he evades them in the air, and constantly cutting them up. As Red Vamp then redirects one of the blood that piled up to attack him from behind. Red Wing, who had seen this, dodges it as it pierces Red Vamp as it was going through the same direction towards him. As he steps back a little bit, impressive. That cheap trick won't work on me. A villain tried doing that a while back. I noticed it, and it ended up killing himself in the process. As he stands up, as the wound heals, as he grabs his arm. I think that's enough. I already proved if I'm in this fight any longer, I might be the one that drops dead. As he looks over at Red Wing, you're very smart. I see why Sleep has a respect towards you. As Red Vamp is a little shocked. Respect? Yes. After all, Sleep only respects the strong opponents. And it looks like he respects you in high regards. Consider that a compliment. Why, thank you, as he bows. I'll keep that in mind. Now, I should be off with Sleep. After all, we have to report my return. Very well. I will still bring in the villains, and I'll wait for y'all to come back, and I will fight with y'all again. As both of them just end up leaving. As Red Wing is a frightening foe indeed. Such strength, such speed. In fact, I think he's faster than Hawks. No doubt about it. I only barely dodged that only because of my instincts. He is truly a fierce fighter in the sky. In fact, I yielded after that blow through that attack that hit myself, because I knew he was about to go in for a fatal strike. And that might have ended my life if I hadn't called it off. My regeneration might have healed me, but there's a chance it wouldn't, so I didn't want to take too much of a risk. Red Wing, you surely are a terrified person. Well, I guess I'll wait. And maybe I'll fight him again in the future, when I get stronger. As he walks away. And that is the end of What If Deku Was King Sombra, Part 5. I hopefully y'all enjoyed. And make sure to like and subscribe. Oh, that was an excellent part. In fact, I don't think I've done... Actually, I've done quite a few parts for this series. This series is going to continue going, by the way. I plan like 3 more parts for this series that will be out on a later date. Or at least I plan to. Now, we move on to one that a lot of y'all seem to like, and that is What If Female Deku Was Mangle? It's a very good series in my opinion. This is actually chapter 2 for y'all joining the live stream. This is chapter 2 of the series. So, I've already made the first 2 parts, and I think I said this was going to be a 3-part series. I don't know about that now. This may be a 4. Again, I was thinking I would have this done in 3 parts. It may be 4 parts before I get this done. So, I'm going to take a quick break for a moment, and I'll get right into this. Okay, I'm back. And thank y'all for the ones that have joined my live stream and all that and are watching this. Thank you. As I think these series are absolutely amazing. I've been working hard at them. And just know I appreciate y'all's support. Now, I am thinking I will set up some things for us to discuss on a live stream one day, so don't feel shy to comment. I always like reading your comments. As some of y'all have amazing ideas, one of y'all want me to do a murder drone what if deku, and I'm actually planning to do that, but due to some things I've been working on and all that, it's preventing me from doing that at the moment. I've got too many series, and I'm planning to start the what if deku was called a curry series soon, so that may also start some things I need to do. Anyway, I think I'm gonna save that one for the next live stream though. If not, I may just go ahead and work on it now, but I think I'll save it for the next one. Now, I do want to ask if any of you have questions on this series in particular before I get started. As this series, believe it or not, when it gets to chapter 3, which there's going to be an entirely new thumbnail for this, by the way, is going to be probably my most fun and exciting one of this series because I've been planning the finale, and it took me so long to get to do a chapter 2 because I wanted to do other stuff and all that, and it took me so long to finalize the idea of how I was going to go about it. And that's why I'm going to say this is probably going to 4 parts. Or I could end it in this one. We'll see. Now, if I remember, there was a wave. A friend Mangle made along the way. If I remember, yeah. That was the case. Now, I do want to say I am looking forward to some of your ideas, as I am working on some special stuff in the backgrounds, like my audio for 500 subscribers, as well as some new interesting films. Or not films, but what ifs, stories for y'all. Okay, I think we are ready for the next part of this. The next part of What If Female Deku was Mangle. Let's get right on into this. I'm sorry if you don't like me just if I take like a short break or I'm just like going on a little bit of a talk. Because it takes for before I start what if, I'm usually thinking, where did I end this off? What was the last part I stopped at? So it takes me a minute for my brain to click. So I hope you all understand that. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on to the next one. What if Female Deku was Mangle, Chapter 2, Part 3. Now, we start this one back in the same area they are hiding out, in the underlayers of Island. Now, as we know, they are hiding underneath the layers of Island and in a warehouse where they've rebuilt the place, and the Manglebots are repairing it. Mangle has been flying around, made a friend named Wave. Now, we're going to start this off with just Mangle flying through Island again. As she is going near the port to go talk to Wave again, as he's the only one that can really see her other than Foxy. As she flies over, she noticed that he's unloading something. As she flies through a crate, scaring Wave. As he falls over, Mangle, stop doing that. What, Mangle can't come see her friend? You can come see me, but why do you have to scare me like that? Mangle just wants to play. I understand. But listen, Class 1A from UA arrived here the other day. Or just recently. Wait, students from Class 1A? Yes, and their teacher and I think All Might is also here. Oh, they're here? Yes. Oh no, have they already found us? As she's contemplating. Found you? Yes, the heroes are after us for some reason. Oh, that's right, you did mention that. Well, they don't know you're here. I'm confident in that. They said they're coming here for some trip. Okay. Thank you. As she's going to fly off, I must tell Foxy. As she flies through the floor. Why does she always have to come in and scare me like that? As someone comes around. Scare you? Who scared you? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I should get back to unloading work. As a person in a strange coat passes by. Interesting. So, someone named Mangle is aboard. Or is on the island. If I remember, she could be useful. As the big man in a coat leaves. As Mangle flies down, Foxy! As she's shouting out for Foxy. Foxy! Foxy! As she's looking through, where's Foxy? As she goes over to one of her robots. Where's Foxy? As one of them just points, as Foxy's asleep on a couch. As Mangle gets in her body and starts tapping Foxy. Foxy! Foxy! Wake up! Wake up! As he wakes up, Mangle, what time is it? I said not to wake me while I'm in shutdown mode. You gotta hear this. Class 1A and the hero All Might are here. As he gets up, what? When did they find us? We need to get out of here. No, apparently they're here for some meeting with David Shield? Or trip? Ah. It's that. Okay, I knew of this. There was a scheduled plan for Class 1A to meet with Island. It's like an event. Happens every so often. All Might was invited. Class 1A was invited. I don't know about much other. Oh well. It's about displaying new inventions. Alright. Is there anything else we should be concerned about? What if they find us? Listen, they're never gonna think to search down here. Just go do your business. Go fly around or something. I'm tired after I spent the entire lot of my energy just to fix up this place with your robots that are powering down because they need more energy. Well, you're just as hyper as a kite. How are you still functioning and flying your spirit form and not tired? I don't know. You could say it's Mangle's special gift. Hopefully it's not that. As having to deal with you, hyper all the time would be a nightmare. As Mangle laughs. Yeah, I suppose it can be a little bit of it annoying. I suppose I can be. But Mangle's going off as she flies through the ceiling. Oh, she can be annoying sometimes. But I have to keep her safe. Now, time to sleep. As he lays back down. As we see Mangle going up. As it's night. As she's just flying around, looking around. As she sees some suspicious people in masks and all that. As she decides to follow them. Who are these people? As she starts to follow them, as they have guns and all that, and they're searching for stuff. I don't think they're allowed in here. Should I? No. This is Island, and especially I can't get caught, or else Foxy will get mad at me. As she just keeps looking at them, as they're going through files trying to find something. As we see that man in a big coat again. Who is that? As Mangle tries to look, but the man suddenly turns around and looks in Mangle's direction. As he sees nothing. Anything wrong, sir? No. I thought I saw something. Back to work. Yes, sir. As they continue to go look for something. As Mangle had gone through the ceiling. And was above. Oh, that was close. Wait. They can't see me without my permission. So I guess I'm good. As he goes back down. Or as she goes back down. And looks around. And notice they're just gone. Huh? They're gone. Okay, I guess I'll just leave as well. As she flies through the floor. As we see them behind a corner. As we see the big man in the coat. Was wearing some glasses that was able to see Mangle. So someone was keeping an eye on us. What should we do, sir? Nothing. They shouldn't be a problem. After all, they're wanted criminals. They won't dare try to do something here, or interfere with our plans. In fact, they may be a good use. As he smiles. Now let's go. As he's walking off with them. Now, I wonder how would this do in a machine. As he looks at something in his hand. No matter, I'll test it out later. As we go back to Mangle, who's just not knowing what to do now. Decides to go to the dock to try to find Wave. As he goes over there, or she goes over there, looking for Wave. Hey, Wave! As she's calling out his name. As she's just flying through. Wave! Wave! As she suddenly flies through him. As he just feels weird. As he just falls to the ground. Oh, what is it, Mangle? As she knows he dropped the box. Oh, my apologies. What is it? I don't know, but some people were trying to go through an office or something. Alright. It's probably just the janitor. I don't know. There was a big cloaked man and some people with guns. As he looks over. What? Yeah, they were looking for something. Oh. Well, anyway. It's probably nothing. It was probably the guards doing an inspection. After all, no villains could get in here. You're right. I was thinking the same thing. But that person in the coat. Maybe a new head of security or something? I don't know. He looked really suspicious. Gave me chills. As he starts laughing. You're saying someone gave a ghost or a spirit chills. What? As he continues laughing. You know that's mean, you know. Whatever. Anyway, why don't you go? I've got to finish with my duties here for the time. Fine. As Mangle then leaves. As we see this person with a coke. Or, not with a coke. With a cloak. Talking to some of his men. Okay. Now I know there's a villain here. I want you to inject this into this animatronic's body. As one of the guards is like, why? Don't worry about it. After all, it will only benefit us. Now you 5, go do the job. Yes, sir, but we don't know where this person is. Don't worry. About my estimations, the perfect hiding place is underneath. Go looking under in the old area. She'll be down there somewhere. After all, her spirit's all flying around. Her body's vulnerable. So go find it. As the guards start going down some flights of stairs to go to till they get to the old area where a lot of broken warehouses and all that are. As they're going through with flashlights and their weapons. Why would anyone hide down here? Well, it's a pretty good hiding spot. There's not many cameras or anything else, so security is very light down here. Especially, the only way in is through the underground irrigation system that would crush a normal person. You're right. Even a person with water abilities wouldn't be able to get through that, as the water pressure alone would tear them apart. Well, anyway, let's go. Alright, let's split up. You head that way, you two head that way, and you're with me. As they split up into 3 groups. Why do I have to go alone? As the guy with the serum is going alone. As he just opens the place, as he sees Foxy, as he does everything not to scream, as he was standing, but notice he's powered off, as he gives out a little sigh of relief. Whew. I guess that was close. As then, he suddenly hears something, as he quickly rushes behind a box, as screams can be heard, and gunfire as well, waking Foxy up. Huh, what was that? As we go to one of the teams that one of them is currently being stabbed by one of the Mangle robots. As one of them's shooting at it, but the bullets have clearly bounced off, and it has hit his colleague that was stabbed in the head. As he starts running away. Of course, Foxy heard all this and is now running out. The other 2 men try to make their way back to them, but when they get back, they see the other guard has been killed by Foxy, who has had his hook through his head. As they look over at the one remaining mangled robot that wasn't powered down, and Foxy, as they start opening fire. As we go back to that one villain guard, who's currently holding the serum and is clearly afraid, going over to the animatronic he was told to, and says, inject this into her system. This will be really helpful for tonight's attack. Okay. Gotta be very careful, as he, thinking Mangle is in her body, is doing very careful to do everything not to wake her, and ejects it. Whew. Okay, now to get at, as he turns back and sees a bloody Foxy and a bloody robotic Mangle. As we go to Mangle, who is currently feeling a pain as she's being sucked back to her body. What's happening? As she's being sucked back to her body. As we see the guard just drop his weapons in front of the 2. I'm dead, aren't I? As then both Foxy and the other Mangle animatronic just back off, as we see Mangle getting bigger and bigger. As he looks behind, as he just literally pees himself. As he looks down with no hope. I'm a dead man. as the big mangle just stomps on the animatronic, or her robot copy of an animatronic, and just starts getting bigger and goes through the ceiling and starts climbing up. As Foxy quickly goes over and picks up the man. What'd you do? I only did as ordered. I was told to inject her with a serum of some sort. What type of serum? As he reveals, it was called, serum. I don't remember the name. I do know its properties. Tell me. It's supposed to increase one's power and quark. That's all I know. An experimental type, quark increasing drug. That's all I know about it. As he drops the man. You're gonna help me reverse the effects, or do you want to end up like your colleagues? As he shakes his head. Good. As we go to the surface, where Wolfram, the main villain of the Island arc, had already gone through with his plan. And now everything's in chaos, and the battle between All Might, Bakugo, and Wolfram has commenced. As Wolfram is being close to defeat. As the huge mangle, which her body had grown, and metal material started sticking to her, making an outer shell, pops out from underground as her big body starts destroying the area of Island, and knocks Bakugo and All Might away from Wolfram. I knew it was right to choose to inject the serum within you. After all, it would have been useless if I injected it to myself. I probably would have given me a chance to defeat them. But this causes much more of chaos than I planned to do. As he quickly gets on the big mangle. Now, to make my escape. As he grabs the big mangle by the neck, controlling with all the robotic parts and all the metal material. As he starts just rampaging with the mangle, heading towards the port. As we see Mangle in her mind. Why can't I control anything? What happened? Why can't I do anything? As she's trying to break out and it seems like she's in a box of some sort. What's happening? As we see the big war, Wolfram, as they just toss All Might Bakugo aside, as Bakugo reaches a powerful attack, hitting Mangle's leg. As we see the inside and of her spirit, as her arm starts to burn. Ah, what's happening? And she looks at her arm and her spirit form, which is in her body, as she realizes it feels a sense of fire and pain. Ow! As then Mangle sends one of her other head and just bites down on the area, which causes Bakugo to go flying back by debris and all that. Focus now! We need to get out of here. As then the cannons of the wall start firing at Mangle. As we realize she's taking several hits and is being injured. Or her spirit form is. As it busts through the wall of Island and goes into the sea. Now go! As we go to Foxy and the guard who just arrived and sees Mangle in the water, swimming away. As the heroes are about to chase after them, they realize something. All the security and all that had gone back online suddenly turned and started firing at All Might. What? I may have let them online for a moment, but now... Have a good time, as he just gives them a signal as he tells her, dive. As he uses the metal material to make like a little diving suit. As Mangle, the big Mangle, goes underwater with Wolfram. With this quark enhancement device, I'm unstoppable. As Foxy and this villain guard are currently in So How Do We Reverse the Effects? Is in a room. I don't know much. All I know I don't know how to reverse the effects, okay? I was told to eject it. I knew nothing else. Well, you have to know a hideout. Where's he going? It's either that or you die. Fine, he's going to an island nearby. It was scheduled for anyone to escape to head towards it. Good. As he drops it, as the heroes enter the room, as Aizawa sees Foxy. Foxy, you're under arrest. Listen. My friend Mangle is being used against her will. I'm suggesting an alliance. As Aizawa and All Might and the Cluster is shocked. I'm only wanting to free my associate, Mangle. Nothing else. And why should we believe you? I know where they're heading. As they look at him in surprise. Trust me, I'll give you this information if we work together. Fine. As we go to Mangle, who's currently in her spirit form, who has taken damage. As they've gotten to the island they had wanted to meet up with the other villains. Victory is mine. As he laughs, especially if I use this one's power. I have an unlimited supply of material. As war just keeps on getting gathered onto her through material and buildings. As then suddenly, he gets a sharp stab through his throat. As he falls to the ground, as he looks behind, as he sees someone. As all he says, "Not today," as he quickly decapitates him. And now, let's get you out of there. As suddenly the big robot Mangle collapses. As her original body has gone back to its original form. As he quickly moves aside the rubble. As she looks up, as she sees 3 animatronics. Who are... As she completely powers down. Grab her. And let's go. And that is the end of part 3 and chapter 2 of What If Female Deku Was Mangle. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, and remember to like and subscribe. Okay, that was good. That was absolutely amazing. And I gotta say, I love that. It was very good. It was very well done, in my perspective. Well, hopefully y'all enjoyed. I know I didn't get to three what ifs today. I do apologize. I do plan other things. I am going to be doing more videos. It's just been a little bit harder for me to do live streams lately. So thank you for watching. Make sure to enjoy. And I can't wait to have these videos out for you.